gonna sew on these eyes, and we're doing applique sewing with these. So you actually need like twice as much yarn of a tail for sewing as if you were doing blended sewing. You need twice as much to do the applique. So what we're gonna start off is you're gonna go through both the front and the back loops right here. So we're just gonna go through those. We're not attaching anything yet. Okay, we're just going through. And now directly below where we have that stitch, directly below that, you're gonna, not pulling out at all, directly underneath, okay? You kind of have to go beneath. You're going to insert your needle into the head. Oops. Maybe. Okay, and then you're gonna pull that through. And then you're gonna go back up without going through back through the blue. You're gonna go back up through that the same back and front loop that you originally put your needle through. This is why it takes so much yarn to sew this on, because you're going back and forth in each one. So now you're gonna go over here into the next stitch. You're going through again, through the front and back, just like that, and then going directly beneath, not outwards at all, underneath here. So not even to the edge here, even further back, directly beneath, like right here, not below, not beneath this outer edge, beneath right here. So we're going beneath. You can see that, I hope. And then pulling that. And then going back up through the same spot without going backwards through the blue. We're just going through the front and back loops that we originally went through. And then again going over this way through these, and then directly beneath, which is kind of further back in here. Pull that through. As you're sewing this, sometimes you may accidentally go up or down through the wrong stitch. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that might look like. So I'm supposed to come out this way. I'm gonna go out this way. Oh no, I made a mistake. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna unthread your needle. And then I like to use the fatter side of the needle where the eye is, and then pull on that. Or if maybe it's like tight, you've pulled it tight. Okay, pull this away as much as you can, and then pull this part out. And then if you have to go back further, you just keep pulling it out and just keep on pulling the next thread until you get back to where you made the mistake, and then rethread your needle and go do it again. And let's do that again. And we're gonna pull out these straight pins as we come to them. Back down, and directly below that, just about here. You do not want to see at all the spots where you're hooking into, you're threading into on the blue. And now back up through where we just went into. And if you lose track of where you're at, you can kind of pull it out a little bit, and you can see that's where you're coming out of. And we're coming through again. And you can see this is just sitting there. You're not blending it at all. Whereas with this one, it's nice and blended. You're not seeing any of the edges here. And it's just a different technique for a different look for different parts. So now we're going back. We're going down through the next stitch. and directly below that stitch. Let's see, where am I at? Right there. So directly below this guy's about there. And I mean, it is kind of loosey-goosey because there's some points where you don't have anything to work into because it's sitting directly above, like something like this where there's nothing, no strands there. So you kind of gotta just do your best and get as close as you can. And then through here and directly below, which is about there-ish. I just love the way that the applique sewing, it looks so nice and pretty. I just love it. I feel like it's more fun to sew this way as well. But that's just my personal opinion. I'll just go all the way through. That out. Make sure that's not falling off. Okay, so we've gone through the front, so now we need to sew directly below. And back up. And down again. And this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky because you are so close to that other eye. Let's see, where are we at? I've come through this one. The next one. Just so soothing. Oh, it was soothing and now it's annoying. And then back up. And directly below. And after I've sewn these on, I don't think that I like where the lips are sitting. So once I'm done sewing on the eyes, I'm gonna probably adjust. Oh, I think that's catching on something. I'm gonna probably adjust where I have the lips once I'm done sewing these eyes on, which happens fairly frequently, I feel like, when I'm sewing things together. As I'm getting the pieces on, sometimes the other pieces don't look like they're sitting the way that I want them to, because they don't always sit the same way pinned versus sewn on. And I'm going to take out that pin. wasn't a fan of how I blended this actually, so I'm gonna try a different way. Whoa, that just flung itself right off. Finish off this one like normal. And then I've got this weird thing going on here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this part as if it was just a regular old stitch, even though it's just like one loop there. I'm gonna go down. Oh, that looks so nice. That looks pretty. I like the way that looks better than this one. Okay, so we're gonna do it like that. And then go back up through there as if it was a normal one. And then we're gonna weave our ends in.